Hi everyone. So this is for anybody who didn't get to go to the live rendition of this meal. Pretty much the meal is spaghetti squash with my sauce and the seeds. I already made the seeds and I already took out all the seeds I could, so I can't really show that, unfortunately. There is a recipe. It's pretty easy to follow. Just a few ingredients: cumin, cinnamon, and salt are the dry ones, and then you use a little bit of oil and they say maple syrup in the recipe. I used agave. Anything that you use to sweeten your, I guess you could use honey. I don't know, but I don't use honey. Okay. That is it for the seeds. So let's just get with it right now. This is the best I can do to show you. So what I already did, you can buy these halved, or you can cut them in half yourself. It is a little difficult if you're not, they're not like super soft and you just bought it, if it's not sitting out for a few days. So there is a tip online that I found, and you can cut some slits in it, put it in the microwave for 3 to 5 minutes, and I mean, maybe let it cool for a second because it might be hot, and then it should be good to cut all the way through in half. Okay, so what I got here is I already scooped it out. I used a spoon. It was really helpful to use a spoon. That's when you separate the seeds and yeah, and then get them ready to cook for those. Those only take 10 to 15 minutes, so I highly suggest it. It's a really good snack. Okay, so this is what it'll look like. I mean, without the pepper and stuff. You add oil. I already did that because I had to show it for my show. I added pepper, a little bit of salt, and that was it. So then I did it on this thing, and then I flipped them over just like so, and then I had to stab it. I don't know if you see it. I don't need to stab it anymore. That's just to get some airflow in it while it's cooking, and yeah. Make sure you preheat your oven to 400. I already did that, so everything's ready to go right now. I'm just gonna put it in, okay? All right. Okay. Just a few facts really quick that I wanted to go over. So spaghetti squash is, you're not gonna want it, like, it's not gonna taste like spaghetti that you typically have. You can make it like spaghetti, I guess. But just know going into it, it's gonna taste like a vegetable because it is squash. And if you haven't had squash before, depending on how long you cook it, it can be a little more soft, but this is, I cook it to make it more a little firm. My mom said it kind of tasted like hash browns, so it's a little bit more firm. And then, what else? So it's, for nutritionally wise, it's low in calories, high in fiber, and some other micronutrients that you might not always be aware of. It's high in vitamin C, B6, and manganese. If that doesn't really ring a bell or mean anything to you, then that's fine too. A lot of people only really pay attention to the micronutrients when they have a problem and they have to visit the doctor's office. You know, it is a lot to keep track of. As long as you take a multivitamin every day, you know, usually you should be good on all of your micronutrients. But as long as everyone eats a well-balanced diet, I can't talk, then they'll be good. Okay. What other tips? So I guess with the seeds, they're pretty good too because they are higher in protein. And yeah, you can use that with anything, any kind of squash. So like pumpkins, any kind of seed that you can think of. It's a pretty good standard recipe to have. You could, you know, it's just a good mix. All right. I think for right now, I'm going to end this for a second, and then I'll come back in once the squash is done, or just before, so I can make the sauce for you. All right, it's been 30 to 40 minutes now, so I'm gonna pull it out. Oh, 40, I think. For. All right, we can smell that. So, if you can see that, I mean, you can hear it. Pretty much, we just gotta let it cool down. We're not gonna touch it right now. So, next up, we got the sauce, and no, we have these already chopped up. It's shallots and garlic. And we minced up the garlic and we just chopped up the shallots. We're going to add this to the frying pan I have over here. I'll show you what it looks like. So it's pretty big. I like the sides are really good. This is one of the a good pan to use size wise. Okay, so we're going to just dump that in there, spread it out a little bit, and add some oil. I use olive oil. There's omega-3s in it. What else? You can use water, but for this step in the process, let's use oil. Okay, so we're gonna, what? Oh. No, I'm keeping that on for my pizza. So anyways, so I just have that in there for right now. Next, I already measured out my milk. It's oat milk that I have, 2.5 cups. And then, let me angle this a little bit different. And then I have flour that I need to add, which I have it in this cup here. It's just normal all-purpose flour, that's all you need. Now, let me try to explain this whole milk thing. The reason why I don't use the, dairy milk. I just wanted to limit the amount of fat that I'm getting. And, using different alternatives is always a good change of pace. In the recipe, it notes almond. You can use whatever you would like. Personally, you don't even have to make this sauce for this recipe. You can use red sauce, like I said before. This is just a, alternative to that, and if you wanted to try a new sauce out, this is pretty good. Some might say this is similar to Alfredo, but it's really thin, so please don't expect a super creamy, thick taste. It's definitely not like that at all. Okay. Other than that, I think right now I just gotta wait for this to heat up a little bit. Then we can get cooking here. So, all right, so I was going to show you the seeds. There's 1 or 2 left. I'll hold one in my hand. I know it looks a little weird, though. Okay, I probably should have showed you on the thing. We kind of ate them all, because they're really good. And, yeah, so they should turn out. You don't really have to worry about, adding too much stuff to it, just unless you're wasting it. And then something else I wanted to mention is before I cook them, I rinse them with a strainer trying to get all the guts off. You don't have to worry about it too much because it's not that big of a deal. It'll pretty much cook off, But yeah, so pretty much just...
What do you put on it?
What do I put on it? I already said before. They can fast forward to the beginning of the video. Okay, so I have a blender already set up over here, and you guys will see that in a minute. So it sounds like our garlic and shallots are cooking, which is good. We kind of want those to get all their little juices out. And you don't really have to worry about the size of the garlic and the shallots because we are going to blend it. If you really don't want it blended, I guess you don't have to. It's just nice to have more of a smooth consistency. Let me see. Is there anything else I can just riddle you with? Yeah. Some might ask about the protein of this recipe. I'm not really sure what the exact amount would be, but if you think about it and compare it to a noodle, pasta, unless you're using meat sauce, you're not really getting much protein anyway. I don't even think there's that much protein in meat sauce. So yeah, I wouldn't really worry about it for this. You can always add tofu or whatever you would like protein-wise, vegetable-wise. This is just how we should start out, basic, recipe. All right. So I'm going to add in some of the milk. I try to do it in 3 parts so it's not too crazy. And that way it all mixes together. A little more angled. Okay, that's good for right now. And then, all right. Something else I wanted to mention about the milks, taste-wise. So I can't really explain like the differences like between each plant-based milk, but I can kind of compare it to dairy milk. I haven't really had cow's milk in a really long time, but I guess depending on what you normally have, if you have skim, I mean, people compare that to water. They drink full fat milk. But yeah, I would say it definitely doesn't taste as, what's the word? I don't know, just thick. But they're like oat milk it's got that thick consistency. So I think people who miss milk will probably like that the best. It's definitely, it's got its own ring to it. So I think the best thing to do is just sample them out, whatever's on sale that week, just try it. You can make your own. There's probably some tutorials on that. Yeah. So right now I'm going to add a little bit of the flour, whisk it in there. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we don't really have to worry about the little clumps in there because we are going to blend it, but I want it to dissolve in the sauce as much as possible. Okay, that's good for right now. So, just kind of let it cook. I'll add a little bit more milk. You guys don't have to watch it. You've already seen me put milk in it. Let it sit there for a sec. What else was I going to mention about milk? Do you want to pause? No. Yeah, I think I had an idea. Oh, the oat milk. So, or whatever kind of plant-based milks. I mean, you can't really do that for dairy. So there's like flavoring sometimes, like vanilla and chocolate. You want to get like the original or plain for whenever you're cooking, just because you don't really want to have that taste like vanilla. Funny story, I've had it with mac and cheese before. I didn't feel like going and getting another kind of milk because I don't really use it a lot. And oh my goodness, do not do it. Okay, I'm gonna add the rest of the flour in and whisk it. And then, I'll show you the blender in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just about to pour it into the blender now. Make sure that your blade is already in the blender before doing it, or else you'll get a mess. Okay, so I got most of the sauce out. It is a little messy, so sorry, Cindy. Alright, so I'm gonna put this on here. And I don't want to make the same mistake as I did earlier. There we go. So I'm going to pulse it on this blender. Every blender is different. Some just stop when it's done. They can kind of have a sensor in it. This one doesn't. And then just kind of see if you think that everything is all. Oh my gosh, this won't release. Come on. Okay, well, I guess I'll look through this. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell. So you gotta move it around. I think it's all good. And if it's a little chunky, who cares, right? It's all preference anyway. So, let's see if this is all pulled. Okay, it's not. So, you gotta really play with the timing. I literally pulled this out of the oven. I mean, you saw it and started the sauce. So you could even like wait maybe a couple minutes after and then start the sauce, just for timing purposes. But you can, if this happens, you can make your seeds. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to show you how to do it, but it's really simple. All you got to do is scrape it with a fork. So, you know what? Let's just try it. I'm not afraid of burning my hand. Set it here. Thank you. All right, so we got our plate. Oop. Okay, so I'm afraid to touch it, but you can even see, hopefully, that it's super easy to pull apart just by like lightly scraping it. If you want more out of it, which you will, I want to use all of it, you can scrape a little harder once it's a little more cool. But yeah, there you go, you got that. Then you got your sauce. I don't want to add it to it. It'll look a little silly because I like all the lather. But, you know, add as much sauce as you'd like. I'm just going to unplug one more thing here. It's this nutritional yeast. So, you can use whatever blend. I already actually have a blend made with garlic and like I think garlic salt or something and other ingredients. I can probably link that below as well because I really love it. It's really perfect for this. But anyways, if you just want to use plain nutritional yeast, it's really good. You can add it as like a little topping afterwards. It looks yellow like this. Please don't use normal yeast because that's not the same. Oh, I spilled on my computer. Okay. Anyways, there's a lot of B vitamins in here. B3, B6, B1, 2, 9, 12. It's not in order, so because different amounts. It's fortified with it. Don't be afraid to use too much because it's low in sodium as is, and yeah, so pretty good alternative to cheese. Topping it with Parmesan. And I've actually noticed that, like, if you wanted to top it with, like, a garlic or something, that would also work well, too, to get that Parmesan-y taste. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I hope all of you enjoyed this recipe and show. My family tried it earlier. They really liked it. They're honestly a little hard to please sometimes. But I think they just need to try new things, and if they do that, then yeah, everybody will be good. So if you follow their example, then we'll all be good here with our hearts and all of that. All right, thank you. Bye.